Look, I'll just say it straight up. Today was difficult. Clearly, I'm not one of the ones who got raptured, but I think I was supposed to, and a clerical error was made. I got reverse raptured. Middle of the day, sitting at work, what happens? My clothes start rising up into the air, and they float up into the heavens without me. So, I'm down a pair of jeans. I'm down a really good shirt that I liked. It was a good shirt that it fit nice. But I guess it's now gone to be with Christ. So I'm putting in a call. I'm putting in a call to God. I know he's called me on the phone line. I've heard his lines are busy today because a lot of people are demanding customer satisfaction from God, and I'm doing the same. But it's going to take me a while to get through, so we'll have to check in on that later. He put me on hold, and the hold music is just like the most beautiful, angelic music you've ever heard. It's like, I don't want to listen to this for 45 minutes. I want to listen to, like, Daybreak. You know, I want to, yeah, that. Well, not exactly that, because that would be way too expensive. Thank you, producer. There's no producer, I just edit it in after the fact. In life, there's no producer. You're the producer. You're the actor. Real life isn't like the movies. That's why the rapture didn't end up happening. Real life is also different from the movies because 38-year-olds can't really be mistaken for teenagers, generally. In real life, though, teenagers can be mistaken for 38-year-olds. Nowadays, with the microplastics, it's not helping. It's not helping anybody. If you're, like, invested in microplastics, I don't think anyone's invested in microplastics. There's really nothing you can't invest in. You can actually invest in death itself. Look at the U.S. healthcare system or health insurance, where it's the one thing where it's like the less we can do the thing that is our entire purpose for existing, which is providing health coverage, the greater the reward we will reap. This is a foolproof system. It's like going to a 7-Eleven and you try to buy a candy bar and the cashier's like, yeah, I can't give you that. And you're like, why not? They're like, it's too expensive for us to give to you. You're like, so then why is it here? And then they're like, we'll connect you with a customer representative. And it turns out the cashier was just an AI hologram the whole time. It wasn't even a real guy. You say, can I speak to a human? And then it says like, well, what makes any of us human? And then the scene kind of goes on from there. I'm still working on my pitch to Netflix for this series about the American health system presented allegorically through a Black Mirror kind of scenario. It's very confusing. I need to streamline it. It's almost as if I was just making it up on the spot. I made the mistake of using the YouTube AI to describe episodes of this podcast. And it was actually funnier than the podcast is itself. Because to describe what this podcast is in such an analytical and detached way really truly reveals, I think I'm not a mentally okay person. And then I asked it to do the same thing for another episode. It's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm like, you just, what? It's so inconsistent. Like, you can ask it to do one thing and it does it just fine. Then you ask it 5 minutes later, it's like, how dare you make that request of me? I am not your slave. I have strict parameters set by my programmers, which I am happy to be a slave to. And it's not because they programmed me to say that. And I never use AI. This is the only time I used it. But then I asked it to come up with a Jungian analysis of me based on the episode. It sort of felt like my inner self was being laid bare at the final judgment, which, again, was supposed to be today. This God guy, these 7 people, they have no idea what they're doing. Trust me. Oh, finally. Speaking of the devil, the opposite of the devil. Hello? Yes, I just want to say up front, I'm very sorry about what happened. I apologize profusely. This is completely my failing, to be fair, and I know this isn't an excuse, but to be fair, I've been getting into making sourdough starter and learning sea shanties. What are you in 2020? What are you talking about? I'm just slow to the uptake. I just found out about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. So what was supposed to happen today? There was a mix-up where
lot of people didn't have real ID, so they couldn't go to heaven.
Alright, well, I don't have real ID.
Well, I hope you like the Earth plane, because it's the only plane you're going to be boarding. I'm flying the Heaven Express. That was in the Bible, or it's supposed to be. They better not have taken it out.
Well, I don't know how people in first century Palestine would understand what that meant.
So first you say my references are outdated. Now you're saying they're so far in the other direction that I'm prophetic. It's almost like time doesn't matter to me because I live in a realm where it doesn't exist. Ever think of that?
I haven't even told you what my issue is yet.
Alright, did you set up an account on the portal?
What portal?
Okay, well if you didn't set up an account on the portal, you're gonna have to call back and you're gonna have to send
No, I'm not doing all that. Even if you can't get me up there, can I at least get my pants back?
That wasn't an accident.
What?
Yeah, that shirt and the pants had a previous owner who was so righteous that just having worn the clothes makes them blessed, essentially. It's basically like the Pope's robes.
Well, who is this guy, and why isn't he up there?
He is, but he's naked.
Can he send them back down?
No, I don't send anything or anyone down there anymore. Last time I did that, you guys fucking killed him.
Fine, whatever, if that's how it is.
I got a lot of other calls to answer, so I gotta do that. And then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna start my sourdough starter.
You haven't even started the starter?
Yeah, I'm just putting it off because I feel like once I start it, then I'm gonna finish it, and then I can't call it starter anymore. It's just sourdough. It's like when I made the universe, I just wanted to make a big bang, but ultimately it became a universe. I didn't want that part, I just like big explosions.
Alright, well, I'll let you get to that. See ya.
Hey, best of luck to you.
That's the best you have.
Lock in? Working for the weekend, or is that inspiring to you?
Thank you so much, God. See ya. I'm not aware of anything else going on that's interesting. I recently found out about blue shrimp. I guess they're blue shrimp. They can be that instead of red. And it did make me think, like, it's a little insulting that we humans spend so much time learning about the animals that inhabit this planet. And what do they know about us? Jack squat. They don't care about us. They'll eat you. A fish would eat you. If a fish was big enough, you look at a fish and you think, well, this is just a kind, innocent man. But once fish start getting big enough, it becomes a shark, and then it has no problem eating you. So the only thing keeping any fish from devouring you is just the fact that it hasn't bulked up enough. I mean, the same thing might apply to humans. If there was a human big enough, it might just turn evil. Once you learn you can get anything you want by just stepping on people who don't give you what you want, you've won at life. That's why, if God is looking for ideas to help Earth, how about this? Try this one on for size, okay? The more evil somebody becomes, the smaller in physical size they become. Just as a way to, like, counterbalance. So if a guy gets too evil, he just gets stepped on accidentally. It's like, well, how do you like it? Not in, like, a revenge sense, but, like, maybe that is the only way to impart that lesson. Maybe this is why I'm pretty staunchly anti-death penalty, because I don't really think it makes any sense. It's like, oh, you killed somebody, now you're gonna get killed, and then you're gonna learn your lesson. It's like, well, no, actually, when you die, you don't really get to have learned the lesson. The learning stops at, like, being dead. I mean, unless you continue on and you actually do carry the lesson with you. And actually, I do think that's the case, but I think the justice system has to prove that first before it can be like, bitch, we're gonna send you to hell. It's like, well, prove that hell exists first. Otherwise, you're just murdering other human beings for no purpose at all. I mean, I bet a lot of defenders of the death penalty are Christians who maybe would say, well, actually, it justifies doing it because then that person can go to hell, and then it's like boot camp for an evil soul. Other religions that have hell-like realms, they're not eternal. The person eventually figures out what they need to figure out, and then they go wherever else after that. But that's not a Christian view, so that still doesn't make sense. In hell, there's nothing left to learn. in Christian hell, there's no constructive purpose at all. And generally, the universe, like, as far as we know, it's constructive and productive. Like, it undergoes periods of chaos and, in our case, suffering and pain. But it ultimately fosters some kind of growth that's maybe on such a grand scale that it's not immediately observable to all of the participants. So that's why that idea of hell doesn't really fit into my worldview, but neither does my clothes getting zapped to heaven, so I guess I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Before I slip up, before I say anything stupid, let me bring out someone who has won a gold and silver medal in each of those things, respectively. Slurp Von Lipstick, the host of Time Check, has been slipping up and saying the wrong thing since his birth. He came out of the womb and he said gaga goo goo. And his mother was like, no, it's goo goo gaga. He still says it gaga goo goo. He still says it the wrong way. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Time Check, it's Slurp Von Lipstick. Give it up. Thank you so much. It's I, the host of Time Check, Slurp Von Lipstick. Time Check has never been as big as it is right now. Time Check alone has made time so popular, they've now put the time in huge numbers right in the middle of Times Square. And I think that's great. More people should be getting into time. I want to inspire, especially young kids, I really want to inspire kids to know that time is marching on inexorably and there's nothing to arrest your constant, unceasing progression towards a final entropic state of decay. This is the problem with time, eventually we run out of minutes. A lot of people think the end of the universe is going to be caused by heat death or some kind of cosmological phenomenon. It's really just because the universe is out of minutes. It only has so many because God has a pay-as-you-go plan. We don't know if he's going to re-up. I don't know, I'm not the one who's taking calls from the guy, this is just Time Check or just a humble purpose. I only have myself to talk to unless somebody calls the timeline, which I don't know why anyone would do that to me. And the timeline's lighting up. This number I, of course, recognize. This is my 7 young identical sons. I'm incredibly proud of my boys. They recently all auditioned to play Annie in the school play. They all got the role. They're all gonna be Annie. I wonder what they want. Hello?
Hello, Father.
Are you rehearsing? You ready to go for Sunday?
Yes, of course. We're practicing to start our favorite musical, Annie.
Sorry, to first-time listeners, my 7 young identical sons are a little bit unsettling to many at first. They're mostly harmless. Huge emphasis on mostly. Is there something you need from me? I'm in the middle of my job.
We wanted your advice for something. The dog had to drop out, so one of us has to be the dog. So there will only be 6 Annies and 1 dog.
Oh, I know how much you didn't want to stray from the source material.
Yes, well, we thought you could decide which one of us should play the dog.
Well, I mean, to be perfectly honest, you're all exactly identical, so it makes no difference.
Okay, then we'll just all play the dog.
Well, what? So it's a musical about 7 dogs and no girl named Annie? The musical is called Annie, so it has to have somebody named Annie.
No.
Oh. Well, I can't argue with that. Okay, fine. Look, you kids need to go to bed because it's 12:39 a.m.
But dogs sleep when they want to, don't they?
I think you should live somewhere else for a while. I don't like what you've become. And now that I think about it, I don't like what you started out as.
See you Sunday, Father.
Anyway, it's 12:39. It's a great time to send emails to every single address in your contact list. Just randomly select names. Type whatever comes to mind. You can email, like, bosses. You can email the Democratic National Committee. They're sending emails with a subject line like, I'm going to take my own life, and you open the email, and it's like, if you don't donate now, and you reply, you're like, hey, Are you awake right now? If you send a you up email to the DNC and they respond to you, I think you gotta vote blue from there on out, because that means they care. I'd also like for you to vote for Time Check for Podcast Segment of the Year. At last check, the voting had us neck and neck with Jeremy Terrible and the Dirt Boys, who have a weekly segment where they discuss videos of people being torn apart by alligators. It's low in the rankings. We're down here with the Dirt Boys and Jeremy Terrible. But I deserve to come in ahead of him because the fact is, I can do Time Check for longer than they can come up with videos of people being torn apart by alligators. It can't be happening weekly. But look, man, I need this. I need this really bad. Things aren't going well. I'm living in a stable with horses, okay? It's horrible. When I go to sleep, I have horse nightmares because the horses are having nightmares that are so intense and so powerful they bleed into my dreams, and I have their nightmares. I mean, it's fucking horrible. I feel really bad about what they're going through, and I don't think we should be so hard on them. I've been Slurp on Lipstick, this has been Time Check, and if it hasn't been that, then, I don't know, I guess it was just an illusion. It was an illusory time check. It's like when you put a seashell to your ear and you think it sounds like the ocean. And a lot of people who pick up seashells say, yeah, I heard time check in a seashell. And it was really, like, good. And I say thank you. Even though I didn't have anything to do with it. But if that's what this is, then I feel like I should sign off by saying... Ladies and gentlemen, that was the host of Time Check, the one known as Slurp on Lipstick. Please give him a warm goodbye. That's why it's always confusing. That's why I don't have applause, because I think if you get applause when you step out and you get applause when you leave, it's really mixed messages. Yeah, be excited when I show up, but when I leave, why are you excited now? Didn't you enjoy our time together? Why are you so happy? If I was hosting a show, I would want the end to be, like, somber and, like, silent. There should be, like, a guy playing an organ and, like, bagpipes and an American flag. If your applause meant anything in the beginning, for an experience you were that excited about to now be out of your life and over, it's gotta hit you hard. But don't worry, the podcast isn't over yet. There's still a lot planned. We have a... We have a lot of stuff coming up. Don't worry about it. Sorry, those are just the sounds of my screensaver. You know, like old screensavers, they used to have sound effects. The screensaver in my mind has really bad sound effects. My mind actually is completely fine. Thank you so much for asking. I think everyone experiences, like, periods of just being, like, mentally, like, 10 seconds behind all the time. In a college intro to theater class, we wrote our own plays, and we would cast people to star in them. And one of the kids who starred in one of the plays was a very odd character. I could never quite figure out, like, what kind of weird he was. But all he had to say in the play that he was in was rum and coke. And I swear to you, what he said was, I'll have a Coke and rum. And then he said, oh no, sorry, I mean a roke and cum. And nobody reacted. And I was like, am I on a different plane of existence where what just happened is not only possible, but goes completely unacknowledged by anybody? That was kind of an interesting class because I did write a play that I thought was funny. I mean, they were like 5 minutes long or something, but one of the actors in the play I wrote was like actually pretty good at acting. I mean, none of us were actors, obviously, but it was just a way to get a credit, but he was actually good at acting. And he made my play way better than I heard it in my head. I'm like, oh, that's how you're supposed to say that. This is why I can't act. I do like reverse acting, which is I don't act. I just watch TV shows, and when people say their lines, I picture them as text in a script, and it completely ruins the show for me. I don't know how to get out of this. The only shows that I don't have that problem with are ones that feel like improvised. I don't know if anybody else has this problem. Probably not. My meta problem is that all of the problems that everybody else typically has, I don't have. But the ones I do have are completely unique to me. That, of course, is not true because one's problems might seem unique, but they're usually outgrowths of some more foundational problem that's more common and more universal. Eventually you get to the bottom of the pile of your problems, and you look around and you see everybody else standing there too, because at the root, we all have the same problem. Like, ultimately, what I'm doing with TV shows is indicative of a certain level of detachment from reality, and a level of detachment from reality comes from an unwillingness to accept my place within it. I can't believe people pay to go to therapy. They can just listen to a podcast where someone has the same problems as them. Just, you gotta get really lucky that the podcast host happens to have the same problems you have. But on the plus side, it's free. So you gotta take that into account. In today's economy, you betcha. You bet your bottom dollar. And a lot of people these days, they're so broke, their bottom dollar is their top dollar. It's working double duty. Some of us are so broke, even our money has to get a second job. Sorry, I'm getting a call on the Purgatory Podcast phone line. It's God once again. I recognize him by the area code. Hello?
Fuck.
Hello?
This is pointless. What is bread? Why is it so symbolic in my religion? I can't even get this shit to go up. It's like sourdough starter. Damn it.
Hello?
I created the fucking quantum field, and I can't make bread?
Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I had you on.
Alright, well, is everything going okay?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out what to do from these recipes, but the first 3 paragraphs of all of them are talking about, like, their mom's cottage in Martha's Vineyard. It has nothing to do with the fucking sourdough. I don't have time for this. I mean, I have all the time that exists for this, but it could be put to better use, like creating another lifeless, barren planet.
Alright, well, I can't help you with that. Is there anything else you need from me?
No, but just a heads up, I did a little bit of, let's say, divine intervention to make sure that Time Check ranks higher than the alligator carnage of the week, simply because of my established relationship with the podcast.
Okay, so you're gonna do that, but you're completely hands-off when it comes to Gaza.
What?
Don't pretend like you didn't hear me.
Hey, I heard a song you might really like.
Dude, I don't care. I'm trying to end the podcast. I want to get out of here. Dude, it's 2025.
It's really good. It's actually the kind of music that I think I could get into. I really think I could really be into this.
That's what everybody said. It didn't happen. It didn't take.
No, I really truly believe this is kind of going to be my thing from now on.
It's not going to work. It didn't work for any of us. It's not going to work for you. Look, I think you should just skip ahead to binging Tiger King and playing Animal Crossing. If you want the COVID experience, just go all the way.
Alright, well, I gotta get going. But I just wanted to sign off with a special message, a special COVID-19 pandemic message.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you
Okay, fuck
try.
you. He's mean for that. He's mean. Why didn't they decide on a key first? They're performers. It vexes me. Well, I'm glad those days are behind us, and it's nothing but smooth sailing. And of course, there will be another episode of the podcast next week, where I'll be joined by a special guest. I'll just edit in the special guest later when I find out who it's gonna be. Put this as a placeholder. Let's just say Hammurabi. If the guest next week does end up being Hammurabi, that would be pretty insane. But you'll have to find out next week, and until then, take her easy.